I've said this for many years, like if we are enforcing these laws, stay 150 meters, 200 meters away from a religious place or hospital, we might as well create zones that these are the designated places, because if there are 50, 100, 200,000 people going, even 200 meters away from a religious place, still people are going there. Many times those people don't even know what this issue is for. We have seen shootings in Jewish school girls. The girls won't even know. If you tell them where is Israel and Gaza, the girls won't know, but they've been shot at just because they're Jewish girls. No.
Yeah.
The businesses were targeted, just because you own a restaurant and you're from a Jewish community. I felt like going there and offering themselves, the guys, you know what? We will offer you free advertisement at Y Media, not because I am for Israel or anti-Israel, just because my fellow Canadians were targeted.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
I would argue, actually, that if we simply draw circles around certain places in a way that's arbitrary, and I'll give you an example. You brought up the Jewish community in Toronto. If the Jewish community's biggest concern was protests at synagogues on Saturday mornings, which the bubble zone that you described would be about, that would be a lot better than what the Jewish community is actually facing. The reality is, we're seeing no protests at synagogues on Saturday mornings. What we have seen is Jewish-owned businesses targeted. We've seen the Jewish girls' school shot at, synagogues shot at, and here's the reality. All those things are already against the law. What the Jewish community, and I think most reasonable, fair-minded people expect from our governments and the police, is effective enforcement of the laws that are already on the books. You're not allowed to shoot at anybody. You're not allowed to shoot at a girls' school. You're not allowed to shoot at a synagogue, a mosque, a church. You're not allowed to shoot at people in Canada. And so rather than, I would say, focus our time about saying you're allowed to stand there, you're allowed to go there, you're allowed to do this, I think our energy should be more focused on, no matter where you are, no matter what your cause is, it's about behavior. If you are peaceful and you want to express yourself peacefully, this is a free country, we're allowed to do that. If your behavior is having an impact on people, where you're harassing them, you're intimidating them, you're being hateful, and worst of all, if you're committing violent acts, you should be arrested and you should face the consequences. So it's not, I'll just kind of conclude that thought by saying again, it's not about exactly where. I don't care if you are standing next to a synagogue or a mosque, or you're standing next to a convenience store or a park or anywhere. If you're harassing, intimidating, or being hateful, or if you're shooting at somebody, the law should be enforced.
But they are presenting themselves as protesters, but actually a vast majority of them are protesters, and I've always said this, peaceful protests are an integral part of any democracy. We all support that. We all support that, definitely.
That's right.
But then sometimes what happens is you are protesting on the street and suddenly you see a Jewish store, or you target that.
And that's the point. That's the point. It's not about the location as much as the behavior and the impact on others. I don't want a Jewish person. I don't want an Indian person. I don't want, whether you are Hindu or Sikh, I don't care if you are Christian or Muslim. If you live in this country, you should be safe. You should be free from intimidation. You should be free from hate and violence. That's what our charter is supposed to protect all of us from. And it doesn't matter where you are or what block of any street you're on. Anywhere you are, you should be safe. And frankly, far too many people in our society are not feeling safe enough, no matter where they are.
Precisely, that's one of the reasons, because when you're blocking the streets, the city of Toronto is already so busy. When you're blocking those streets, you involve a lot of police enforcement, and despite the police enforcement, I don't think so. Let's go and ask those people whose businesses, they have been targeted. While people are just saying, we are protesting, but then their businesses are being targeted. Now, if you ask them, they would never want any of these protesters near their business. So if we have a designated place, then we're not even giving them this opportunity. And I have seen this many times. And when you have designated place, give one group a chance one day. You are for pro-Israel, fine. This is a group only pro-Israel today. You want to do anti-Israel protest, that'll be happening tomorrow. So what happens is, Here are pro-Israeli protesters, here are anti-Israeli protesters. We are seeing so much rise in the crime and the police forces standing there, let alone the streets of Toronto. Every weekend come to our plaza. Every weekend. We have 2 police cruisers standing here. I can't get into my studio. I was standing outside the studio. Suddenly 2 police cops came. They start flashing lights and say, "Oh, this guy seems okay." I said, "Yeah, actually I'm not. I am the one who can't even get inside my parking lot." We had 2 police crossers. Come to the weekend, we have a religious place. I don't even know. Actually, now I want to go. Were they celebrating Easter or Passover? I want to know what is there in our plaza.
Church, yeah.
Huh? I think it's a church or a synagogue.
Yeah, right next to you. Yeah,
No, there's one across the street, but there's one there in our right here across our office. That is a church there. We have religious places, but 2 police cruisers here, standing on the weekend. So these 2 police cruisers could be doing something else instead. By their word, you could see protests outside. So whatever is happening in Middle East, protesters could come, disturb this. Why protest? If they were put in a designated place, these 2 police cruisers would have been, because now what's happening is York Regional Police says, we have the press release, extra presence at synagogues. Peel Police, extra presence at Sikh temple. This police, extra presence at Hindu temple. Guys, you know what? Protests are happening, and Triveni Mandir, at a Hindu temple, there are protests outside. Synagogue, protest outside. Now we're bringing a law, don't do protest outside, 150 meters, 200 meters. Why? Why all this? Put them at designated places, so that way all these police forces can only focus on that area, because the protesters are going to be there. If there are 50 religious places per city, imagine the kind of tensions the police has. So because these protesters, we are protesting a synagogue, we're protesting against Triveni Mandir, we're protesting against Sikh temple, we're protesting this. Why? That's your place. Protest there for 24 hours, book that place. We will provide you an ambulance. The media will come over there. We have the first aid, safety, police, everything available for you. And that way you're not blocking the street. Let everyone do their own business. That's the important point.